Hello and welcome to another of my process videos. As promised, today I'm going to be doing a mixed media video using the Cocoa Vanilla Boys Rule collection, which is available on Lottie Loves Paper, which I will link down below for you. So this one, I'm just preparing the background colours. I'm going to start light and then work my way dark. So that's just an art crayon that I've scribbled onto a piece of packaging and spritzed with a bit of water, mixed it together to make like a watercolour, and then I'm just brayering it roughly onto the white card to make a background. And just adding a bit more, this time adding a darker colour slightly just to build up the layers. And whilst this is whilst I'm doing this, the colour on the background paper is drying because it's so hot at the moment that it's drying without any help from a heat tool or anything else. So this is just the second layer. I'm just building up the background. And I'm adding a very thin layer of Mod Podge to in the same way with the brayer. This just seals the base layers that I've done, so whatever moisture or products I put on top won't move the background that I've already created. So now I'm just getting the packaging again and doing the same with the art crayons, but just spritzing the water, mixing it in. Sorry, I do keep forgetting that it's off camera when I do that. And then I'm just using the sort of kissing technique onto the paper, onto the background, just to create another layer, more texture. And it's just sort of like grunging up the stark white at the moment. So this page I'm making today is for the July challenge over on For the Love of Pretty Paper, and it was to scrap an achievement using mixed media as an extra challenge on the page. So now I'm using the Vicky Bouton iridescent glaze through the star mask. I've gone with the stars because of the lovely star paper in the Boys Rule collection, but also all the star embellishments that are also in that collection. And the photo I'm using today I thought was quite appropriate with stars on as well. So all I'm doing there is just using my palette knife just to get rid of any of the sort of half stars or bits that have just come through, parts of the mask that I didn't want to show. Because of the heat at the minute, the iridescent glaze is just literally sort of cooking itself onto the mask, so I'm just giving that a quick clean so that I don't have to scrape it off later. Oops, I've done it off screen again so you couldn't see, but I've put some more art crayon on the packaging, and this time just using a wet wipe just to dampen the brush and lift the crayon off of the packaging, and brushing it through the mask to create more layers on the background. As I was saying, this is for a challenge over on For the Love of Pretty Paper. If you are looking for scrapping inspiration, challenges, lots of chit chat and everything else, then please join the For the Love of Pretty Paper Facebook group, which I've linked down below, as there's always lots going on, and it's a fun group to be involved in. They also have a sketch once a month by the very talented Laura Rumble, who also has a brilliant YouTube channel, which I'll link down below. So please do follow them, or even just pop over and see what they're about. The photo I've chosen to document on this layout today is the first time I ran the Bristol 10k. It was my first time, but my husband Rob's second time, and it was actually the year before that, watching him run it, that I decided, okay, maybe I could do this, and that's when I actually started running. So it was less than a year later and I'm running the 10k, which was something I never thought I'd do. And then I did it all again this year, but obviously the first time is always the most special, so that's the one I'm documenting. I added just a little bit of colour over the iridescent glaze, just because I thought it wasn't quite popping enough off of the page. So the papers I'm using to mat this photo are from the 6x8 paper pad in the Boys Rule collection. When Sarah from Lottie Loves Paper first previewed this kit, I thought, oh yeah, that'd be nice. I can do some layouts of my son from when he was little. Just a couple of pages. It'll do. It's really good stuff. Yeah, it's gone from there to just being obsessed with it, and making so many different pages about so many different subjects. Not just my son, as you can see, I'm using it for mine and Rob's running. I've seen some nice girl focused layouts with it, and it just keeps going on and on. It is just lovely stuff, and Sarah did restock in the week, and there are still some papers left, but I think most of the ephemera is now gone again, and I'm not surprised, because it's just one of those collections. I think that has got longevity, and I think it will just keep going on, and hopefully they will restock again. I've added the little bit of green behind there just because I felt the star paper was getting a bit lost underneath, and my armband that I wear with my phone in is lime green, so I thought that sort of like just brought that element of colour into the background as well. Then I will apologise for the sound going in and out at the moment. As you can appreciate, in the UK at the moment the weather temperatures are extreme, so I'm trying to film the voiceover without trying to get too many background noises from the gardens next door, and so I'm just having to try and edit out as much background noise as I can, which sometimes sort of makes it sound as if I'm in a bit of a cave, but it's far too hot to film without a window open at the moment. So the embellishments, I'm just adding a few from the ephemeras and chipboard packs. The one that I've put at the top right hand corner there, if you can't see it, it says, "I do believe it's time to be awesome," and I thought that was quite fitting for this page, for that. I do start sticking a few things down, but as you will have noticed, I haven't stuck any of the actual main elements and papers down yet, as I'm always moving things around and just sort of deciding that I'm not quite liking something somewhere. So now I'm just going to sort of stick in on the layers so that they're all in place. And I raided the kids' stash, found some of the old funky foam that I'd forgotten I had, so I've just cut a strip of that off just to stick on the back of the bottom mat of paper just to lift it off the page a little bit, just give another element. Before I stick everything down onto the page, I just decide just to add a few more splashes of the watered down crayons just to finish off the background and add a little bit more of a pop of colour. I felt it was still a little bit flat. At first I did use the roller to stick that lightning bolt down, but then figured that it wasn't going to be strong enough actually to hold it in place, so I did go back and put a bit of PVA on that one, the same as I did with the other thunderbolt. And as I've lifted up the page with some funky foam, I've just put a foam dot under the edge of that phrase sticker where it overhangs the papers. I'm just adding a few other embellishments. This one I just couldn't decide where I liked it. At first I was just sort of sticking it down in different places. It's from the transparent stickers, so it's got to be somewhere that it doesn't really get that lost, as it says on top of this, on top of the world, which was a feeling that I certainly had once I'd finished the 10k, and in a faster time that I'd actually set myself to, which was fantastic. As I was going through my sticker sheet just to see what embellishments I could use and how many stars I had left, I realised that I'd actually used more than I thought I had. So luckily this was on the evening that the restocks had gone back into the shop, so I quickly went back in and reordered some more of the sticker sheets, so that my papers will just keep going and going with more embellishments to hand. So just adding the title, and I decided that there wasn't really anywhere to go horizontal with the title that I wanted, so I've gone vertical at the side of the page, which I think worked out quite well. So the Hooray is from a Thickers, I think it was the May kit from Lottie Loves Paper that I had left over, and then I've just used one of my small alphas, and I thought, well, because I wanted it to end underneath the Y, I'd work backwards just to make sure that it all fit in, so I don't want to sort of like run out of room at the end and have to go around the loop in the Y. And as it happens, I had actually estimated the right amount of space I needed to use. So after I'd gone off of camera, I did go back in and put some journal in underneath the photo. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you want to see more videos from me.